I dated this guy when I was way younger and he almost ruined my life because I was naive. I started dating Joe at the age of 17. He was 25 years old at the time. I had met him in a public transportation 7 years ago. I was just a naive girl back then. He told me I was very beautiful and that he wanted to know me better. At that time, all my friends had boyfriends, and so I wanted a boyfriend too. I gave him my number and he called me that same night and we spoke all night. A month later, he asked me to be his girlfriend and I said yes. I actually said yes because I wanted a boyfriend, not because I really loved him. My parents were very strict, so I had to keep our relationship a secret. I remember he used to give me some money every Saturday. It is not a lot of money, but it is enough for me to buy one or two things for myself. And I thought that meant that he loved me. Joe was extremely jealous and controlling. He didn't like it when I spoke to other boys. He would get very angry at me when I refused to do the things he wanted me to do, and he would stop talking to me for days till I would agree to do whatever he asked. He manipulated me into sleeping with him, even though he knew I wanted to wait till I was 18 years. He said he wanted to be the one to break my virginity, and that if he waited a little bit longer, someone else would do it before him. He would get angry and scream at me at every little thing I do, and later he will apologize. Since I was young, I didn't know he was just manipulating and abusing me. I just thought he loved me too much. I remember on my birthday, my 20th birthday, he almost hit me. I just couldn't take it anymore, so I asked for a breakup. He cried and cried. He went down on his knees and told me he couldn't live without me. He said he would kill himself if I leave him, and he promised to change. So I forgave him. I took him back. But did he change? No, he didn't. He only got worse. All my girlfriends knew him, but he was closest to my best friend. Let's call her Jen. They all liked him because he acted like an angel in front of them. They said I was so lucky to have someone who truly wanted me and only me. They said they wished they had a man like him. Jane would tell me every single time we met how lucky I was to have Joe. She said I should do everything in my power to keep him. Because of this, I kept everything Joe was doing to me a secret. I couldn't tell anyone. I moved into the hostel when I was 22. We've been dating for 5 years at that point. And Jane, my best friend, has gotten pregnant for the guy that she was dating. The guy refused to take responsibility, but both her and the guy were from the same church, and both their parents were very religious, so the guy was forced to marry her. Since the guy didn't really marry her out of love, he treats her so badly and cheats on her at any chance he gets. So after I moved into the hostel, Joe packed a few of his things and moved in with me. I didn't like the idea, but I knew no matter what I said, he was still going to have his way. The hostel was rented by my dad, and whenever any member of my family came to visit me, he would leave the hostel and I would just hide his stuff. Then he would come back after they leave. He started physically abusing me when he moved in with me. If I glanced at another man, he would beat me. If the food I served him was too hot, he would beat me. If it was too cold, he would beat me. Ha! It got to a time when everything I did resulted to beating from him. Hi! If you have watched this video up to now, it means you are enjoying it and you would like to come back for more. So, if you've not subscribed up till now to my channel, please do out to subscribe, okay? Turn on the notification bell so that whenever I drop another interesting video, you'll be one of the first persons to get notified. And please help me, guys, support my other social media platforms. The links are in my bio. Click it and give me your support. And equally, if you want me to share your story, please send me a DM on TikTok and drop your story. Whenever I read it out, I will let you know. Let's get back to the story. And he often hits me in such a way that he didn't leave scars on my body, so it was difficult for anyone to notice. He lived with me for 2 whole years. After 7 years of dating him, I just couldn't take it anymore. The only person I could think of telling my story was my best friend, Jane. I went to her house late one night after I had a heated argument with Joe and he beat me up. Immediately I saw Jane, I broke down in tears. I told her everything that I've been going through all this while. And after telling her everything, she didn't believe me. She told me Joe is a good person and that he doesn't look like someone who can do all these things I had said. My own best friend didn't believe me when I told her my boyfriend was physically abusing me. She told me if this is an excuse to break up with him, I should think twice because if I break up with Joe, I might never meet another man like him. I was shocked to hear her say this. I just picked my bag and left her house without saying another word. If my best friend didn't believe me, it means my other friends won't believe me too. Joe was manipulating them and they were all weak minded. I knew they would all definitely believe him instead of me. That night, I sat at a bus stop for a very long time. I was at that bus stop when I received a text message from Jane. She said she called Joe after I left to tell him that I was at her place to report him. And he had told her that I was only looking for a way to chase him out of my hostel. He said things had not been working out for him, so he had no place to stay. And I probably wanted to break up with him now because he had no money to give me anymore. Jane told me I was being very ungrateful and that Joe needed me now more than ever. I couldn't believe what I was reading. How could my best friend do this to me? Why would she even tell Joe that I came to her place to complain? And also, this was the first time I was hearing about Joe not having anywhere to stay. I thought he moved in with me because he wanted to keep track of me. I didn't know it was because he had nowhere to stay. That night, I made a decision once and for all. I ordered a ride and went straight to my big brother's house. I had three older siblings and they were all boys. I was the only girl. I just couldn't take it anymore. I cried as I told my brother about my story. He hugged me and told me to wipe my tears. He was so angry after I finished the story. He called my two other siblings and we all drove down to my hostel. That night, Joe received the beating of his life from my brothers. He couldn't even fight back. He was so weak. I guess he only knew how to hit a woman. I had wasted 7 years of my life on this fool. They threw him out of my apartment and warned him never to contact me again. That night, I also cut ties with Jane and all my other girlfriends. I blocked their numbers and social media platforms. I just wanted to start life anew. About 2 months later, I was coming out from a store to catch a ride that I had booked when I saw Jane. I almost passed by her, but she begged me to wait and talk to her. She said I was right about Joe. She said Joe didn't have anywhere to go after I threw him out. Her husband was out of the country for some months, so she asked him to move into their spare room for the time being before he figures out where to go to. She said he promised to leave after 2 weeks, but didn't. 2 weeks turned into 1 month, and throughout this period, he was either in bed or going out to party. He never helped around the house and he never helped to even clean around him. Whenever she asked him when he was leaving, he just postponed the date. He knew her husband was out of the country for a year, so I guess he was planning to stay with her till he comes back. He didn't contribute money to the house, nothing. She said she couldn't take it anymore, so she called her father to throw him out. She apologized and said she was sorry for not believing me. She wanted to know if we could go back to being good friends again. I just shook my head and said no to her. I said to myself, never again, and I walked past her. I was in a good place at this point and I didn't want toxic people like her to drag me down. This is a good one. I'm happy. And if you made it to this point, thank you so, so much for sticking around. I really do appreciate you. If you know you've not subscribed to this page up to now, please do well to subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that whenever I put up another interesting story, you'll be one of the first persons to get notified. And please support my other social media platforms. Links are in my bio. Like this video if you've not up to now and share to your friends. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.